Hey guys, welcome back with the QB Docs. Today I'm joined here with Dusty, and we're going to talk about a topic that has been brought up a lot over the past year that we've been doing this stuff, but this is an important topic to really think about and dive into because every quarterback does it, and it's this idea of, does this idea of arm slot or, cocking phase really matter during the throwing motion? And the conclusion that we've come down to is no, and here's why, okay? So I'm going to have Dusty pretend like he's throwing that way, all right? And whenever you go into the cocking phase, like no matter how you want to do it, and really there's a rule that we have for our guys is if you bring it here, if you want to do the L, that's fine. So we teach L to 90 is normal, all right? If you're dropping it below that, you're making this cocking phase longer, and that arm's probably going to be trailing during the acceleration phase of throwing. So now I'm overextended, I'm overstrided, and my arm trails, it makes me inaccurate and not as powerful. But if you drop it down here in the L or above that, as long as you're getting to a point where this ball is above the shoulder, the elbow is above the shoulder when you come through, that's fine, okay? But an important topic, a more important topic to really talk about in today's video is your release point, because that should look pretty similar across the board for all quarterbacks. So the release point is that midpoint of the acceleration phase coming forward, as the acceleration phase becomes the deceleration phase for your follow through. So as Dusty cocks that ball back and he's coming through, as he comes through, we know that this phase has to look the same for most quarterbacks, all right? So some key things to really look at here. All right, elbow is in front of the trunk or in line with the trunk. Okay, number two, the ribs are pulled down with this trunk stable. Number three, I have to have enough hip extension in this trail leg. Okay, so I'm not leaving myself open whenever I throw, because if I do, that makes this whole foundation unstable. Okay, I have to have enough internal rotation on the trail leg so I can keep the same mechanics of the trunk. All right. And I can't lose position, all right, of this back foot whenever I push through. Because if I do, if I have these problems with the hip and this foot stays turned out, I'm going to be pushing through the arch of my foot in a bad manner, which makes this ground force reaction not as much. So it decreases velocity on my throws. All right, so instead of thinking about the importance of this cocking phase, all right, look at your videos of you yourself throwing, and see if you're matching this acceleration phase going forward. Because we know, let's go back in that position here, Dust. All right, these things to be true. All right, no overextension of the lumbar spine. If this arm is trailing, so face that way for a second. Okay, if this elbow is behind the trunk, dysfunction. All right, if this foot is turned out this way whenever you're coming through, which leaves your trunk open, dysfunction, all right? If we have a rib cage that's flared and you're in overextension of this lumbar spine, dysfunction. And those are the things that are really the most important when talking about the quarterback position, and they need to be most consistent with the quarterback throwing motion, all right? So instead of worrying so much about this phase and where you're loading the ball in this cocking phase, worry about your release point and where that's at in relation to the trunk. All right, so trunk, hip, elbow, foot, keep those things in mind and get yourself better, okay? If you like that video, please check out our other videos with the QB Docs on our Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, or our website, thaqbdocs.com.